He's got nothing but green in front of him. Spintown's gonna win the game for Scotland. Touchdown! Yeah, yeah, yeah! God damn this ball. I can't drop it. I'm gonna spike it. Another problem with Minecraft football.
Alright guys, it's time for another Scotland Fantasy Football update, and as you can see by looking at the standings here, I extended my winning streak to 6 games, but I still can't get a hold of that number 1 ranking. Hippid just won't let go of it, and quite honestly, I'm regretting letting her in this league. If she's not going to let me win, why is she here? Now, I am only somewhat kidding there. Hippid's been doing great, and, I think if I was going to get the number 1 seed, it had to be this week. Because she played Zach, it was a great chance for her to be upset and to lose a game. And I knew, well, I didn't know, but I had a good feeling about this week, and I ended up winning. And coming up, I have a really hard schedule. I mean, I might play 1 or 2 teams that, I should be able to beat, but I mean, other than that, the rest of my matchups are going to be pretty tough. So I don't think I'm going to get that number 1 seed at any point this season until maybe the championship game. We'll see. But I think my best chance at getting the number 1 seed in the regular season is over. As long as I hold on to at least the number 2 seed, though, I will be happy. Because I think I have the playoffs set up where it's the top 6 teams that get in, and the top 2 get a bye week. So I'd really like to have that bye week. Nobody wants to have that first round upset and get kicked out of the playoffs. That would save me from even having to worry about that. But, that's not even guaranteed because, Jeffro Bro just won't get off my ass. He's got 7-2 as well, so I really need Hippoded and Jeffro Bro to lose a match. But, anyways, it's still going good for me. A 6-game winning streak is great, even if I can't get that number 1 seed, Hippod. But let's go ahead and take a look at some of the more interesting matchups from this week. Now, I'm a little bit biased, but, I always find my own matchup a little bit interesting just because I have more at stake with my matchup than I do with anybody else's. And when I was looking at the results from this week, I noticed that Carson Palmer was on Tasman's bench. And granted, he has Drew Brees on his team, so most people would leave Carson Palmer on the bench because most of the time Drew Brees is a much better fantasy quarterback than Carson Palmer. But in this case, had Carson Palmer been starting over Drew Brees, Tasman would have beat me because Carson went off and had over 44 points. And the margin of victory for me was not that big, and it would have made a difference in this week's outcome. Looking at my stats here from my bench and my starters, I had a couple places I could have gained a few extra points here and there, but definitely the big mistake between me and Tasman this week was Tasman sitting Carson Palmer, which you can't fault Tasman for because that's just what most people would do. But yeah, now on to the next matchup, which is Crazy Kick-Ass Kate versus Ninja. Now looking back at Ninja's past history, you don't expect much from him as far as scoring, but this week he went off. Anytime your players score up into the 20s by themselves, they did pretty well. And Ninja had half his team, half his starters score up into the 20s. He had Michael Vick, 20 points. Brandon Marshall, 44 points. Chris Johnson, 24. Michael Turner, 21. Brian Hartline, 23. It's a very high-scoring game for anybody, even more so for Ninja. If you look over at Kate's team, her team did okay. It wasn't all that great, but one player saved her ass. That was Doug Martin. 60 points from one player. Yeah, Crazy Kick-Ass Kate, she needs to be sending him some flowers or a thank you card or something because if it wasn't for him, Ninja would have kicked her ass. Anyways, I think what we're going to go to next is the video challenge results. Now, I haven't checked to see who won what in the last video challenge, but I will do that before I upload this video and put any winners we might have had in the description below. If you want a chance to win a raffle ticket for this video, all you have to do is guess the 5 outcomes of these matchups right here in front of you. If you can guess all 5 correctly in the comments below, you win a raffle ticket. I don't care if it's one person guesses right or 50 people guess right. You still win a raffle ticket. One thing I do want to point out is I'm going to make this video a little shorter than I probably should because I have a bowl of vanilla ice cream sitting next to me and it's melting away. So I'm going to get on that You guys get on making your predictions in the comments below, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.